Okay, good morning. Welcome to Morning Rumblings, an audio-only bedhead tech news podcast. Let's share the first cup of coffee and catch up on the overnight tech news together. Welcome to episode number 6. Let's take a look at the news, sip some coffee, see what's going on today. Just started reading this one. The first story that I spotted is Five Eyes agencies expose APT-29's evolving cloud attack tactics. Anybody who's listened to any of their previous episodes, I love attribution. I love the names that they give, the different agencies give to these groups. So, APT-29, the hacking outfit, also known as Blue Bravo, Cloaked Ursa, this one's my favorite, Cozy Bear, Midnight Blizzard, formerly Nobelium, and the Dukes. The Dukes to me is a close second to Cozy Bear. A cuddly bear. You know, what's better than that, right? Okay. Yep. This group, APT-29, aka Cozy Bear, is assessed to be affiliated with the Foreign Intelligence Service, the SVR of the Russian Federation, Foreign Intelligence Services of Russia. Cybersecurity and intelligence agencies from the Five Eyes nations. Let me see if I can do this off the top of my head. Take a real quick sip of coffee here just to make sure things are working. Yep, good stuff. So, Five Eyes, the United States, Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia. So the Five Eyes nations. They share signals intelligence. They work as a team across the world to help defend democracies. Cyber intelligence agencies from the Five Eyes nations have released a joint advisory detailing evolving tactics of Russian state-sponsored threat actor known as APT-29. Is assessed to be affiliated with the Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, of the Russian Federation. I'll link to the Wikipedia for the SVR. It's very confusing. I mean, it's trying to figure out which one is the equivalent of our FBI or CIA or NSA. But yeah, sure. Go check out the Wikipedia. Previously attributed to supply chain compromise of SolarWinds. That was a bad one they used to leverage and attack endpoints and servers. The espionage group attracted attention in recent months for targeting Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and other organizations with an aim to further their strategic objectives. Yeah, so both the Chinese and the Russians are really, well, the North Koreans too, are all at it trying to get to get in the networks. So they're having to kick out the Chinese or the Russians or the North Koreans. And then we find out later that they've been in the systems for not a day, a week, a year, but a few years. I think they just found one Chinese group that was inside our systems for 5 years. Getting a little scary. They're going after water treatment plants and that kind of thing. That's next level kind of crazy stuff. It's the connected world that we live in. So this particular latest bulletin goes into detail about what they actually were doing. These folks are good hackers. Like, not good in the sense of used to cut my lawn, but they're excellent at their craft. Just going to go over these things really briefly. Obtained access to cloud infrastructure, everything really of any values in the cloud at this point. Using tokens to access victims' accounts without the need for a password. So yeah, stealing browser cookies of logged in sessions and that kind of thing. Leveraging password spraying to seize control of personal accounts. Use prompt bombing to bypass multi-factor requirements and then register their own device to gain access to the networks. There's a lot to unpack there. I'll do this really quick. Leveraging password spraying. Okay, you're counting on the fact that people use the same password everywhere, or some iteration of the same password anywhere. Or my favorite puppy G for your Gmail account, my favorite puppy Y for your Yahoo account, that kind of thing. Really, really bad practice. Whoever you are out there, if you're doing this, stop. Go get a password manager. Make sure that you actually use a password that there's absolutely no way that you could remember. Like, it's like a ridiculous long password that's in your password manager that when you put it in, it's unique. And it's not unique because you put a G on the end for Gmail and a Y on the end for Yahoo, right? So strong passwords, unique for each site. What these people are doing is they have passwords that have been collected in all of these, online, on the dark web, right? So all these password lists, and they just spray these across every account. So they got your account for Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, Twitter.com, whatever, right? So and now they're going, and it's really simple to just use the same ID and password and try them across every known service. And if you use the same password on other services, then that's what's going to happen. They're going to get in. You shouldn't ever use the same password in more than one place. Then the second thing they talk about here, prompt bombing. So this is just annoying, and it's just they know the nature of people, right? So you are in bed and your phone, dings. You pick up your phone, and it's a prompt for you to log into, say, your OneDrive, right? Click OK, right? To get in. But you didn't prompt, so you just ignore it. And then like a couple seconds later, another one comes up, and then you ignore that one, and then another one comes up. And this goes on. So for whatever reason, you don't want to turn your phone off so that you can actually sleep. So you have this thing running next to you, and it's popping up your notification sounds, and your significant other is getting annoyed too. And you see what happens here? They hit you so many times with this until you just can't take it anymore, and you just want it to stop. So you just say okay, and now they have access to your system. Prompt bombing. And then the next thing is they use a proxy to make their data look like it's coming through a local connection instead of coming from outside the country. That's usually because somebody didn't change the default password on their router, and their router is owned, and they're proxying traffic through people's home routers. Good times. So how can we avoid making it super easy for APT29 and their friends? Don't use the same password on multiple sites. Use a password manager. It could be a local password manager, something like KeePassXC, a cloud-based password manager like Bitwarden, but don't ever use the same password, like with a different ending on it or something. Even is no good. Make the passwords long and complex and save them in a password manager. This APT group they're trying to get into infrastructure. They're trying to be inside our networks. In case something happens in Europe where the war spreads, and then we start actually going after one another in cyber, where we're taking out power grids and that kind of thing, they're trying to pre-position troops, per se, like be inside our networks, so that when things start, they can shut us down from the inside, right? So this is a serious thing that we're looking to defend against. So again, this one was an advisory from Five Eyes regarding APT29, aka Cozy Bear. And yeah, this is just another one of those things where we're trying to keep the bad guys out of our internal networks. Okay, story number 2. This one is from Bleeping Computer. Hijacked subdomains of major brands used in massive spam campaign. A massive ad fraud campaign named Subdue Mailing is using 8,000 legitimate internet domains and 13,000 subdomains to send up to 5 million emails per day to generate revenue through scams and malvertising. The campaign is called Subdue Mailing, as the threat actors hijack abandoned subdomains and domains belonging to well-known companies to send their malicious emails. Hijack abandoned subdomains. So as these domains belong to trusted companies, they gain the benefit of being able to bypass spam filters. In some cases, take advantage of configured SPF and DKIM email policies that tell secure email gateways that the emails are legitimate and not spam. Some notable brands that fell victim to this domain hijacking campaign include MSN, VMware, McAfee, The Economist, Cornell University, CBS, NYC.gov, PwC, Pearson, Better Business Bureau, UNICEF, ACLU, Symantec, Java.net, Marvel, and eBay. That is quite the list, especially when you go back to the very first word that says some notable brands. These emails then come from trusted domains that get past your spam filtering, which is not not a great day. Clicking on the embedded buttons in the emails takes users through a series of redirections, generating revenue for the threat actor via fraudulent ad views. Ultimately, the user arrives at fake giveaways, security scans, surveys, or affiliate scams. Guardio Labs researchers Nati Tal and Oleg Zaitsev, and I do apologize if I just totally screwed up your name, but it's still really early in the morning and I'm not fully to the bottom of my cup of coffee, so I do apologize. Discovered the ad fraud campaign and reported that the operation has been underway since 2022. So they basically hijacked domains so that they could spam people. So Guardio Labs attributed the campaign to a threat actor they call Resurrect Ads, who systematically scans the web for domains that can be hijacked, securing new hosts and IP addresses, and making targeted domain purchases. The threat actor constantly refreshes a vast network of hijacked and acquired domains, SMTP servers, and IP addresses to maintain the operation's scale and complexity. It's actually pretty clever. So they're waiting for domains to expire, and they're buying up these domains that are trusted domains, and then they're spamming people through the trusted domain. So now it gets past all of your spam filters. Most of these things come down to just slow down, look at what you're doing and do the basics. When you go through your email, don't just click through and open every single one without taking the time to review and mousing over to check links and things like that. Those basic things can really help you not get bit. And then there's all the other things, having security browser extensions and doing all those kind of things. Those will help for the times when didn't pay attention and you click something. So maybe give you a chance. That's story number 2. I hope that you found these 2 stories interesting. I hope I was able to give a little backgrounds that made sense at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. If you like this, well, click the like, and if you want to hear more of these, well, then subscribe. It does help keep us motivated to continue to get up early and read the news and talk about the stuff that we know about the background of these different things. I hope you'll stick around and keep coming back for the next episodes. And as always, I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.